Beth got mad at Nicole and called her a crackhead. And Michael, Beth, and Nicole, they all have different personalities and characters. And I like that. And hello, everyone. So I've DNF'd 2 books today. What he did to her was just unacceptable as a man. It's a lot of violence. Y'all, I checked the mail and I absolutely got a package from Macmillan, but because the girl's life, y'all, is so freaking chaotic, I did take off work to stay home and read. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. So today I'm going to be opening up a vlog. This week I'm going to be reading nothing but ebooks, whether it's on my Kindle or my Kobo. And yes, I do have a Kobo. So I don't know if this video is going to come out before my unboxing video, but if it does or if it doesn't, either way, I have a Kobo and I've been using it for a couple days and I love it. So now with the Kobo, it doesn't have as many good selections as Kindle, but I'm willing to try it. So I have the light off, so that's probably why it may look dark. I don't know. I've never really filmed with my DJI Pocket with the light off, but the light is off because I really didn't want any light on and I just got out the shower. So I think I'm going to have to order another acrylic stand because I don't like the way this looks. I'm going to let y'all see it, but I have my Kobo up here with my Kindles. I feel like a hypocrite. You know how you have nothing but Kindles, and then it's like you add another brand to the collection, and my Kindles are looking at me like, you traitor. But in all honesty, I also have a Books Palmer 2 as well. This is my Nano, but this is my Books Palmer 2, my basic Kindle. So see how it's like off? I don't like that. So I may end up ordering another one of these to sit up here because, yeah, I don't like the way this looks. So the Kobo is behind this. And it comes with, well, it didn't come with this. I purchased this for a fraction of the cost of a Kobo stylus. This is a MetaPen M2, and it was about, I think, $36. And I absolutely love it. So I got the Kobo because I wanted to be able to annotate or take notes on my ebooks. So that's why I ended up getting this. It was way cheaper than getting a Kindle Scribe. I wanted a Kindle Scribe so that I can annotate on my ebooks and things like that. But y'all, I'm not paying no $500-$600. So this has been completely perfect. The color, I may have to turn on the light so that y'all can actually see. But I'm going to turn the light down a little bit so it's not so bright. So if you can see, like, the color is amazing. And one of the things that I do love about this Kobo is that it keeps on the screen the book that you're actually reading. So you don't have to worry about ads, because the Kobo Clara Color, when I got that one, I sent that back in like 24 hours. I couldn't get the screensaver to save to the sleep screen, and I didn't like that. So I sent that back, and I just was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to get the Kobo Libra Color. I'm gonna just save for it, and I'm gonna just get that one because this is the one I wanted anyway. I absolutely love it. Y'all know I love like these buttons on the sides. The publisher actually sent this book to me to read, I guess by like invitation via email through NetGalley. And I've read books by William Kent Kruger, but the last book I read, it was okay. It wasn't what I expected. I did give that a 3-star, but I am interested in reading this. I'm not interested in buying any more of his books unless they're really, really good. So they sent this for me to read, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll read it because I'm familiar with his writing. I'm not going to start this vlog off reading this one. I'm going to be reading something else. So in this vlog, I'm definitely going to be reading The Davenport. So I'm going to actually, oh, you know what? This is me supposed to be just doing strictly ebooks. Okay, scratch that. So we're not. So unless they release the ebook to me, then I'll incorporate the Davenports in this vlog. I just remember that. See, I just want to read all of the things. So I'm not sure. Okay, let me see what I have on my Kobo, because I went back to my NetGalley and downloaded or sent all of my e-arcs to my Kobo from NetGalley. Okay, so I have on here The Call of Crowns by Shanaza Badeau. And then I have The Broken Hearts Agency by Clarence A. Haynes. And then I have Not What It Seems by Lisa Jackson. What do I want to start reading first? Because The Call of the Crowns is not due until like September, November, one of them. So I think I'm going to just start with maybe The Broken Hearts Agency, because my review for The Broken Hearts Agency, Not What It Seems, is due in June. And I'm also reading another e-art called Resurge that I actually need to finish. I started it on my Kindle, and I think I told y'all about that last time. And I'm going to just go back and see if I can send it to my Kobo. So this book right here, Resurge, it actually is definitely, it's YA. I'm actually 15% in that book. I do want to go ahead this week and try to finish that so I can do my review, but I don't want to be, you know how sometimes you can be rushing. You can just be like rushing to get all your e-arcs done. And I don't want to do that because it's already stressed me out that I've had so many approved at one time. So today, that's what we're going to be doing. Today is Monday. I did take off work to stay home and read. Yes, I did. I sure did take some PTO because I was exhausted after Saturday's volunteer event. So good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday. It is like 5:15 a.m. I totally forgot yesterday that I didn't tell y'all what Resurge was about. I think her name is Janai Allen, but I'm not really sure how you pronounce her name, but it looks like it could be pronounced Janai. So this book is definitely YA because they're both in college. So I'm going to read y'all the synopsis because I totally forgot that yesterday I didn't tell y'all what the book was actually about. So I'm only going to read you a little bit because the synopsis is like really long. Lainey Addo fought her way out of prison and straight onto the basketball court. But the past doesn't release its grip so easily when Axel Lee Carson, her ex, the former captain of the Coastal Titans, haunts her every move. Once high school sweethearts, the chemistry is volatile, dangerous, and impossible to ignore. Every glance is a challenge. Every game is a reminder of what they lost. So I'm not going to read the whole entire synopsis because I read the synopsis to make sure that I wouldn't give y'all any spoilers. So now that she's back out of prison, she's back at college, and I think she spent 3 or 4 years in prison, and they were able to get her released. So now that she's back at college, Axel and her are attending the same college. So since she's been back, she's been also practicing on the basketball team because she had hopes of going to the WNBA. So now that they're back together, you can definitely feel the anger that they both have towards each other. So while they're going through this journey of just hating each other, Lainey just has more hatred for Axel. But the craziest thing is that Axel is beginning to learn that his parents were not the parents that they portrayed to be. And this is one of the reasons why Lainey is actually really upset with Axel, because she felt as if Axel should have been on her side when everything transpired like 4 years ago. The book is focusing more on her being angry and holding a grudge against Axel more than with her wanting to be on the WNBA. Not only that, is the book is taking us back. So it's almost like dual timeline. So the book continues to take us back, but we're reliving the same memories. So every memory that either Axel has or Lainey has, they're the same memories. So we're getting her perspective of the memory they shared together in the past. And then we're getting his perspective on the memory they shared in the past, but it's the same memories. And I think that's what's taking me out of the story a little bit, because we're focusing on the same memories, which is just making the book longer than it has to be. But I do love that Maeve is Axel's sister. Maeve is really encouraging Lainey to get therapy. And I love that aspect of the book, because she's holding a grudge so tight that every time she sees Axel, she's aggressive towards him. She's saying mean things because she's wanting him to hurt more than she's hurting. And I think that's the part of the story that is really drawing me out, because we're continuing to dwell on her anger more than he's dwelling on his anger for what happened like 4 years ago. And I'm not going to tell y'all what it is because it's not in the synopsis. So I really want to tell y'all, but I'm not going to tell y'all. So I'm 44% into the ebook, and I am going to finish this because I do want to see how Lainey's journey is going to play out. I want to see if they're going to stop being enemies. They don't have to be enemies to lovers, but we always know how the enemies to lovers trope pans out. But I really do want to see Lainey get some mental health help. I really want to see her explore and process these feelings and resolve her anger like in therapy. Right now, she's even verbalized that she doesn't want therapy because she wants to stay angry. But it takes more energy to stay angry at someone than it is to go through the 5 stages of grief. So right now, they're both in those 5 stages of grief. But I think that Axel has progressed from denial quickly to acceptance. Everything he knew about his mom and his dad is not what he knows now. I think now he's just accepting the fact, okay, these things are what it is now. I was angry before, I'm still angry, but I'm going to accept that maybe things weren't what it seemed. And Lainey, she just wants to stay in that anger stage of her grief. So that's where I am now. I just wanted to get on here, share that with y'all before I try to finish this book today, because I didn't want to like put all my thoughts in like one clip. But anyway, I am going to get off here and go to work, and I will see y'all later. Y'all, do y'all see anything new about me? I have new glasses. My glasses came back. So, but I'm still going to take them off because I'm sure there's going to be a glare in the screen. And y'all, if I seem like I'm talking funny, y'all hold on. Okay, so y'all, I am back. My mom was calling. So I wanted to tell y'all that I did get 50% into Resurge. However, when I continued reading, I decided that I was going to DNF that book. And I'm going to tell y'all why in 60 seconds, because there were a lot of things that were very repetitive. When it came to reflecting on memories, they were reflecting on the same memories the entire story. And not only that, is the female main character, her name is Lainey. She continues to dwell on how much she hates the main male character, which is Axel. And she just wants to stay stuck in her anger. She hates him so bad. However, her hatred for him is very inconsistent with the story. So we get to the point where something has happened and she moves in with him for the night. She spends the night with him, but then she gets up the next morning and she's telling him how much she hates him, that he is going to make him hate her so much that he's going to end up killing his mom for her. Y'all, it's just, I was like, you know what? My time is too precious. I really was hopeful. We're just not progressing with the plot. Everything is centered around her being angry. It's as if the author is just stuck on this. her anger is what's driving the story, but it's also pulling me out of the story because I feel as if I'm reading the same thing every single chapter. I can't deal with it. So I decided to move on to another ebook. I started reading the Prada Plan, which is the first one by Ashley. Is it Ashley Antoinette? Ashley Antoinette. So y'all, this is my Kobo. I am loving this thing. Why didn't I get one like a long time ago? Well, I really was trying to get one a long time ago. But anyway, so I'm 42% in. I did start at work. I went to Hoopla and downloaded the audiobook because I was working today, like actually working. And I really wanted to listen to the audiobook. So the audiobook was actually published in 2013. So it is very vintage. It sounds very vintage. So I've been immersively reading when I took breaks. And let me give y'all the synopsis so that I don't spoil anything in the book. What I'm trying to work on is doing my reviews a lot faster because my last video, y'all, was a whole hour. And I don't want my videos to be like an hour, just 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes. So the synopsis says, when Desaya Morgan is accepted into a New York organization known as the Elite, she quickly comes to realize that she stepped into a world of sex and lies. When she meets Indy and falls hopelessly in love, she is determined to keep her lifestyle a secret, but everything done in the dark eventually comes to the light. The way that she actually gets into this street worker lifestyle is very interesting. And because it's not in the synopsis, I'm not going to tell you. But during her childhood, something very traumatic happens. Something that I see in the foster care system all the time, which is one of the primary reasons for some of our youth coming into care. She grows up, and the things that have happened to her when she was a child, she utilizes it as a tool to get the things that she needs. So one of the things that I find very interesting is that the author has the ability to incorporate like all these things going on at the same time. With that being said, it's also kind of like pulling me out of the story a little bit because I'm wanting the author to focus on specific things in the story or exploring more in the story, especially when it comes to her friendships and her building relationships. But because the girl's life, y'all, is so freaking chaotic, the author cannot stick to exploring specific areas like in Desaya's life. Her nickname is Yaya. So I'm going to call her Yaya because I actually dislike her name. So she's only really, I think, like in her 20s. She is going through so much in order for her to feel successful, in order for her to feel needed. But one of the things that she does well in order to get the things that she wants, she cognitively disassociates, if y'all know what that means. So she's basically disassociating, which allows her to push forward with the things that she's actually doing. And I find it very interesting because sometimes people do disassociate and compartmentalize their issues in order to just press forward with their life. So I am 42% in, and hopefully my goal is to just get to 80% because I feel like right now at 42%, the thing that just happened with her best friend, y'all, my jaw dropped because the thing that happened with her best friend is not new to people who are in that street worker life. So I'm wanting to see what's actually going to come of her best friend, not only her best friend, but one of the things that happened is that Yaya is quickly learning that she can do more with her life, that she doesn't have to settle for the things that she's doing, and she doesn't have to use her body in order to get the things that she wants. She can be loved properly by a man. And there's a man out there who's willing to love you where you are. There's a man out there who's willing to help you grow. There's a man out there who's going to love you irrespective of your previous lifestyle. So that's pretty much like where we are right now. And before I go read. Well, actually, I'm going to edit a video because I have a video that I'm uploading tomorrow. Well, by the time y'all see this video, the video should already be uploaded. But I want to show y'all this. Y'all, I'm so excited because, y'all, look who it's from. Y'all, I checked the mail and I absolutely got a package from Macmillan. Y'all, I'm a celebrity now. Like, what? Like, y'all, I was so excited. I know it might be small to some people, but I got this. I was like, Eliza, because I don't put my whole first name. I was like, Eliza, and it's from someone named Rodney Williams at Macmillan. So we're going to open it up together. We're going to open it up together and see what's in here, because I was like, oh my God, I feel so excited. Like, someone sent me some book mail. Like, what? Okay. Ooh. Okay. So this is called The Secret Dinner by Raphael Montes. Okay. I'm going to actually read a little bit of the synopsis on the back of the book. It says, four childhood friends eager for a taste of city life swap rural Brazil for an apartment in Copacabana, Rio. But they have no idea of the fate that awaits them there. Dante Piglet, Miguel Piglet, and Hugo are average students trying to make ends meet with part-time jobs, excited about the bright futures at their fingertips. So when their rent skyrockets, they struggle to keep their new lives and big dreams afloat. They need to make money however they can. In order to keep their apartment, the friends adopt an unorthodox plan and are soon sucked into a dark world of secret dinner parties catering to the twisted fantasies of Rio elite. What starts as a joke quickly spirals out of their control. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to read this soon. So I appreciate Ronald Williams at Macmillan for sending me this book. I don't know if this is an ARC or not. It doesn't say it's an ARC. I think this is from Macmillan's imprint, Celadon, because y'all know there are like different imprints for like major companies. So I think Celadon is up under Macmillan. So this is from Celadon Books, which is, I think, an imprint of Macmillan. But anyway, so I appreciate y'all for sending me this book. I can't wait to dive into it. It seems pretty short. It says, let's see. It's only 338 pages, so that's not too bad. And then a card was also, like a little card was also in here, which is really cool. It says the secret, you are cordially invited to the secret dinner. And it says the unforgettable experience is reserved for only a few select guests, including you. To reserve your seat, post on social media, tag at Celadon Books and use secret dinner book like hashtag. P.S. Stay tuned for information about a special virtual event with the author. Okay. Look at me getting famous. And let's see. This is the author. He looks like my best friend's husband. My best friend's husband is actually Puerto Rican. And he actually looks like my best friend's husband. But anyway, that's what I got. So I will actually see y'all when I have another update. Yes, I know. I look very professional today. It's actually what I wore to work. I have on, this is actually a dress, y'all. And then my new glasses, all the kids were like, oh my gosh, you look like a teacher. You look like a teacher. I'm like, y'all act like y'all have never seen me in a dress before. Now, back to the original video. So today I end up finishing the Prada Plan by Ashley Antoinette, doing away with the rating. So I'm not going to give y'all a rating, but I will kind of just give y'all my final thoughts on the book. So first of all, this is urban fiction. So it's definitely not your contemporary or your usual like fiction. It is definitely urban fiction. So it is a little bit more dramatic. You have a little bit more conflict and violence and things of that nature. So one of the things that I do love about the book is that it does explore the consequences of chasing wealth. And it also explores loyalty and family dynamics. So now one of the things that I didn't like about the book was that it was very over dramatic. So some of the scenes were just highly frustrating because the characters were making very frustrating decisions, very impulsive decisions, and not realizing that the decisions I'm making is going to cost me later. There were a lot of consequences that were unintended that end up happening anyway. There is some violence, domestic violence. It's a lot of violence. At times, like the violence, the conversations, the banter, the interactions, it was very over dramatic. It felt very overwhelming at times because I'm trying to connect with one character and then all of a sudden the situation changes and now we're focusing on another character and their situation and what they have going on. Even though I felt like all of the scenes were tied into the plot, the chapters were very jumpy. So I'll give you an example. A very intense situation happens with Yaya and Indy. He leaves where he is and then he travels to, I think he went to like another state. So he goes to another state and now we're focusing on him in another state trying to build his drug empire. And I'm thinking like, okay, so when are we going to actually get back to the story with Yaya? So other than that, I felt as if there were a lot of plot twists. I did love that because there were things that came full force that you were like, whoa, I was not expecting that. Or some things that I could actually piece together because I kind of figured it out. In addition, there is a lot of storytelling. And y'all know I really don't enjoy storytelling because it takes me out of getting to understand and know the characters. But there is dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue, but I didn't enjoy the storytelling part. On the other hand, I really wish that Yaya, which is the female main character, would have made some different decisions in her life. And then towards the end of the book, it's as if she bends a little bit in order to appease Indy. And I really didn't like that because what he did to her was just unacceptable as a man. Then when you don't have boundaries and you allow that person back into your boundary, you're bound to ask for them to run over you again, them to take advantage of you again. If you like urban fiction, family drama, complex relationship dynamics, stories that are filled with suspense and revenge, you definitely will probably like this. However, you would not like this if you do not like subtle storytelling. If you are not into urban fiction, if you're not into violence and over dramatic scenes and frustrating character decisions, and it does have explicit language, you probably would not like this. Now, if you ask me, am I going to read the second book? I am not, because y'all, the funny part is that reading this story actually gave me Tubi vibes. And I know everyone knows what Tubi is. It's very, I'm not going to say the book isn't good. It's just not what I thought it would be. I thought I was getting something like Jacques. And I hate comparing, y'all, I really do. I hate comparing authors, but when I read something and it's supposed to be like urban fiction, it is urban fiction. But if you're wanting to kind of gauge like what type of urban fiction it is, this particular book, which she wrote in 2009, it's nothing comparable to Jacques. I'm just going to put that out there. So like I said, I'm not saying that it's not a good book. I'm just saying that it's not what I expected. And I really want to read something from Ashley Antoinette that's further along her catalog, because, you know, as writers write and create, their writing becomes a lot better. So I actually would like to read Moth to a Flame, something newer, to compare her writing styles from then to now. Because yeah, I was literally thinking like, am I reading a Tubi movie? Because it was, y'all know, like those low budget black movies, black urban fiction movies. That's just kind of what it felt like to me. So I don't think that I want to read any other books like from this series. Maybe I can read something that she's written within like the last 2-3 years. So now what I'm actually going to read for the rest of the weeks, because today is actually Wednesday. I thought today was Thursday. Okay, that's tomorrow. Y'all, I'm tripping. I have 4 arcs that I can actually choose from, but I'm kind of thinking, do I want to read an arc? And then I was approved to read, I think it's Breakout by Tiffany D. Jackson, but it's like an accumulation of authors. It's like co-authored with like other authors. So I don't think that book is necessarily hers. When I went on Google, because I was Googling if Tiffany Jackson was actually writing any more books, and that came up. But when I got approved to read it, I was like, this isn't just by Tiffany D. Jackson, it's by other authors as well. So I couldn't download that one on my Kobo for some reason. I'm going to actually try to see if I can download it on my computer and then download it to my Kobo. So I think that I'm going to read Last Girl Ghosted by Lisa Unger. I've never read anything by Lisa Unger before. Like, I just want to read a thriller. I kind of want to break up the genres that I'm reading. And I was like, okay, I think it's time for a thriller. So let me know in the comments if you've read this. I don't really know what the rating is. I just found it on my Kobo and decided to actually download it. It says she met him through a dating app, an intriguing picture on a screen, a date at a downtown bar. When what she thought might be just a quick hookup quickly became much more. She fell for him hard. It happens sometimes. A powerful connection with a perfect stranger takes you by surprise. Could it be love? But then, just as things were getting real, he stood her up. Then he disappeared. Profiles deleted, phone disconnected. She was ghosted. Maybe it was her fault. She shared too much too fast. But isn't that always what women think? So this sounds like it's going to be a book of cat and mouse. I've never read anything by Lisa Unger before, so I'm hoping this good because, y'all, I hate DNFing books. I ended up DNFing Resurge the other day. So my goal is to actually find books that I love and don't have to DNF. So I'm going to start this tonight, but first I'm going to take a shower. Then I'm going to get in bed and get cozy so that I can start reading. So I usually try to read books like every 2 days. I try my best not to pressure myself to like, oh my gosh, I got to just finish for my vlog. So if I don't finish by Sunday, then, oh well, I just don't finish by Sunday. But usually it doesn't take me that long to read a book. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. Well, jump in the shower first. And then if I manage to read maybe like 25% of the book, I will definitely come back and give y'all my initial thoughts. Hello, everyone. So I've DNF'd 2 books today. Yeah, I've DNF'd literally 2 books today. So I DNF'd Last Girl Ghosted by Lisa Unger. So I started that last night and I really couldn't get into it because it was written in second person. Not only was it written in second person, but it was written as if the female main character was telling the reader how the other person feels, basically trying to interpret what's in the other character's head. And I don't like books like that. That is very weird. It was just too much storytelling, too much reflection. I don't care about your memories. Get on with the book. So the guy that she goes out with, he basically ghosts her after maybe like one date maybe. And then when she tries to look for him, he's nowhere to be found. Everything's erased, even his house. She goes to his house. He's not there. It's empty. And when she rings the bell, the girl is like, this is my family's like vacation rental, but no one else lives here. So he vanishes without a trace. A private investigator shows up to her house wanting to know what is her association with the guy named Adam. And because he's also investigating a missing persons case because the girl that is missing was last seen with him. Y'all, I just kept thinking to myself, why are you trying to be an investigator? So she basically wants to find out what has happened to Adam because she's kind of upset like he ghosted her. If he ghosted you, a private investigator shows up to your house because he's telling you this person's not who he says he is. He's preying on women who have online dating profiles. Why would you want to find out who this person is? Like, you dodged the bullet. That means move on with your life and don't try to look for this person. So I was 32% in. I think I was on chapter like 17. However, I just couldn't take it anymore. After a while, I was just tired of the storytelling. Like, I'm tired of the storytelling. Like, get to the point. And I think, y'all, I don't know. I'm not in a reading slump. I know that. I know that for sure. I'm not in the reading slump. It's just that I cannot find anything good to read. I cannot find anything good to read on my Kobo. And it's not that I cannot find anything good to read on my Kobo. I'm just picking books and it's not what I need right now. So then I started reading At the Graduation, Son of the Morning by Akwaeke Emezi. Y'all, I'm like 5-6% into the book and I'm like, I can't read this either. It's entirely too slow. That's just not what my brain wants right now. I'm wanting something that's a little fast paced. And it doesn't have to be like fast paced, but I want something engaging. And right now those things are not engaging. So I'm going to try again because I really want to post this vlog on Sunday. I really want to post this on Sunday or Monday. But I don't want to just post one book that I've accomplished reading for this week. Like, oh my God. So I'm going to try to read Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. So it's about 3 siblings whose mother is deceased and they come back home to settle an estate. So I think that what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up looking at a videotape, which they're thinking, okay, are we going to be reminiscing about our mother? But obviously there's going to be some turn of events. So I did go on Goodreads, y'all, to see what the rating was. And it was like a 3.8, 3.9. I'm like, oh my gosh. So from some of the reviews that I did read, it did say that it was a pretty solid book. So I'm hoping that I can just like get through this because everything, y'all, that I've been trying to read has just not been catching my attention. And that's my 3rd DNF this week. So for Son of the Morning, I'm not going to hard DNF that. That's just going to be a soft DNF. I just think I'm just not in the right headspace for something slow. Y'all, I need something fast and in a hurry, something engaging. That's why I chose a thriller. Hopefully I can get through at least 25% before I go to bed. It's actually like 9:15. I just got home from the kids' graduation from my job. Y'all, I'm so tired. My head is hurting. I want to read. I've been wanting to read all day. So I'm about to get in the shower so I can read and get my mind settled. And I'll see y'all later. So hello everyone. I am so happy because guess what? Today is Friday. And I look super cute. I'm just joking. But no, so I am 70% in to Home is Where the Bodies Are. And I have not been able to give y'all an update because I was at work, and I was actually trying to get my work turned in before 12:30 because I worked over like 3 hours yesterday. I didn't get home till like 9 o'clock, and I knew I was leaving today. I was like, oh no, I'm doing my 40 hours and I'm leaving these people's job. So where I am in the store, because I am 70% into the book, I'm more into the book than I wanted to be when I gave y'all like an update. But I want to say the first 30% of the book is really like character building, and it's building onto the plot. I do like that the siblings, which is Michael, Beth, and Nicole, they all have different personalities and characters. And I like that. And they're very competing characteristics about them. So everyone, well, not everyone, Beth is the oldest. She is jealous of her younger brother, Michael, because she felt like her parents helped him be more successful than everyone else. And then you have Nicole, which is a recovering drug addict. And the funniest part was when her sister called her a crackhead. Beth got mad at Nicole and called her a crackhead, and they were arguing back and forth. So I love that complex family dynamic, sibling rivalry in a story though. It was really funny, and I just love the bickering and arguing that they actually do. So once they see this videotape, because they went into the attic and they found some old video VHS tapes, y'all, VHS tapes. And that brought me back to a memory when I had VHS tapes. I swear, y'all, I am going to find me a like VHS player because my mom has tons of like VHS tapes. So when they're looking at the video, they chose a video that was, I think, marked for like November 19th, 1999. And Beth was 16 at the time. And I think the other kids were like 15 and 13. But once they viewed the video, they thought that was it on the video. And then all of a sudden, you know, it goes black. And then, you know how when you record over a video, y'all know how it is. If y'all were born in my day, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you record over a video. So it's like they recorded over the video. But what they saw at the last little bit of the video was something transpiring with a missing girl. So they saw the girl and they knew immediately who the girl was. And this girl has been missing, I want to say, for over 15, 20 years maybe. That comes to their dad also disappeared like 7 years ago. Now that we're in present day, their mother actually passed away, as I said before, and they're finding all of these secrets out by reading her journals. So she ended up leaving a will for all of the kids. And in this will, she gave them specific things. And she gave Nicole, which is, I think, the middle daughter, all of her journals. So Nicole is reading her journals. And now this has put Nicole on a path to find out what actually happened to the missing girl named Emily. However, at the turn of events where Nicole is actually figuring out that Emily is not the only missing girl. So this story is reading very slow. And if I can give you like a comparison, think about Murder, She Wrote. That's how this story is actually progressing. It's really slow, but all the pieces are coming together. And I don't like slow burns at all, but this is really more of like a suspenseful read. It's not a thriller or anything like that, but it's more suspenseful than anything. And the one thing that's keeping me engaged is I want to figure out what happened to the missing girls. What happened? Who did it? Where are the bodies buried? Like, what has happened to these missing girls? And I'm 76% in, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta finish. And y'all, it's not, you know how you get those stories, you're like, it's not really engaging, but it's engaging because you're trying to figure out like who is behind what happened to these missing girls. So that's really what's keeping me engaged, because the story is really slow. And right now it's not giving a 4 or 5 star. It's giving more of like, if I rated it, like a 3.5, but it's engaging enough for me to keep reading. So when I finish the book, I'm going to come back and give y'all my thoughts. I am back. It is 10:30 and I finished Home is Where the Bodies Are about probably like an hour and a half ago. So what I can say to end my thoughts on the book, I actually enjoyed it. It was very engaging, and the person that I thought was the person responsible for the missing girls wasn't even the person. I thought I had it figured out all along, but I did not have it figured out all along. The only thing that I was so confused about is why the mom had so many clues hidden like around the house. It was a clue in the, what is it? It was a clue in the security box at the bank. It was just so many clues just hidden everywhere. I was just thinking like, y'all literally took them on a scavenger hunt with this. I did like that Nicole and Beth found out about the person responsible almost like at the exact same time. Person who was responsible was revealed. I was super shocked because I did not think that. I did not think that at all. So I was very stunned at how the end played out, because the whole time I was accusing the wrong person. I was accusing the wrong person the whole time. So I definitely thought it was pretty good. It was okay. It was very suspenseful, and I think that's the thing that I love about it. So if you love something that is like a slow to medium paced, very engaging, very suspenseful, you probably would like this. I did think that the ending fell flat. Even though the plot twist was amazing, the ending was just a little bit rushed. I just wish we had a little bit more, but I think in the end, the letter that the mom wrote really just tied it up in a bow to where the questions that I still had, they were definitely answered. So I thought it was okay. So if you're into Geneva Rose, and if you have this book on your shelf and you're wanting to read this, I definitely say go ahead and take a chance and read it. But if you're not into suspenseful storytelling and it's very slow, this book will not be for you. Because at first I had to really get into it. After the VHS tape scene, I was definitely invested, because had it not started to become engaging, I probably would have DNF'd it. So I am going to try to read. Y'all know I'm in an awkward position because I'm like laying down. So I am going to try to read one more book, and it's called You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. I don't know, for some reason, I'm wanting to read another one of her books just to see how I like her writing style. The other book was okay, but I want to read this one. This one is also on my Kindle. I'm actually going to start that and maybe just read like 30 minutes of it. So a little bit of the synopsis says, a woman who travels to a remote ranch in Wyoming for a getaway but becomes suspicious of the mysterious owner and the town's dark secrets. As tension builds, the story turns into a twist-filled psychological thriller about trust, deception, and survival. And I asked the internet, and I just pulled up like a short synopsis because I don't want to read too much into the synopsis, because the one on Goodreads was way too long. I felt like it was telling me the entire story. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start this because I'm just trying to see like if I actually like Geneva Rose. Are her books like an auto buy for me? But right now I'm not like super impressed. I'm not super impressed because a lot of people love Geneva Rose. As far as that being my first book, it was okay. But that one has not impressed me yet. So let's see if this one's going to impress me. I did see the rating on Goodreads. I think it was like a 3.8. So it seems that her books are seeming like they have an average of like a 3.8, 3.9. But anyway, so let's get into the book, because after this particular ebook, I'm definitely going to end this week's video vlog, because tomorrow I am starting the Davenport's More Than This. And so y'all can just stay tuned for that video, but I'm dedicating one reading vlog for that particular book because I just really want to immerse myself in that book. So yeah, let's get to reading. It's Saturday, and I have been listening to You Shouldn't Have Come Here. I think I listened to 2 chapters in the car because I've been up since 8 o'clock. I went to the grocery store, got some groceries. So I woke up this morning around 5. I read about 4 chapters because I actually fell asleep reading last night. And then I listened to about 2 chapters on the way home from the grocery store. So really, y'all, there's nothing that has actually happened that was very significant. We're just doing a lot of character building and plot setting. So the 2 main characters are Grace and Calvin. So Grace is a banker. She's on vacation and she chose to go to Wyoming just randomly. So usually what she does is she take a dart, she throws it at a map, and wherever it lands on, that's where she actually vacations. So she rented an Airbnb like on this ranch, and the previous owners of it was Calvin's parents, in which they passed away. So now he's managing this ranch. So when she first gets there, the first thing she notices that it had no service. Like, she had no cell service whatsoever. Now, y'all, if I go somewhere and my phone doesn't have service, yeah, you can just give me a refund. Like, you could just refund me for the Airbnb, because there is no way I'm going to be out in the country, because they're in Wyoming. There's no way I'm going to be in the country with no cell service. So no one can reach me. I can't call out. If there's an emergency, how can I dial 911? That would have been my first red flag to leave. And I'm just being serious. So while she's there, he's telling her, well, if you need to use the phone, we have a landline that you can actually use. But she still feels a little iffy about it. So sometimes you just have to go with your gut feeling. And I know personally, if it was me, I'm leaving. I'm not even staying. So while she's there, she's getting to know Calvin. Calvin's getting to know her, and he's staying in the same place. So I guess it's like she rented the room in their home. Y'all, I'm not staying in no Airbnb with my owner. That's just not even comfortable. So I don't see how she's able to do it. And then one of the strangest things is when she went into town, because he told her, you need to get some country clothing because you need to get something that you can get dirty. So she goes into a retail store to get an outfit. And before she comes out, the lady that was serving her says her name, Grace. And when she gets in the car, her check engine light comes on. And then she's like, how did the lady know my name? That would have been another cue. Let me get up out of here. So I am only 27% in. So those are really the only things that have developed in the story. Nothing really has developed. It's a lot of storytelling, which I don't prefer storytelling. I prefer more dialogue and interaction than storytelling. In this book, we have dual POVs, just like the last book. But what I don't like is when the author is using like second person. It's like, she went this, she did that, she did this, she did that, he did this. And we're getting the second person through the other person's point of view, which I don't like, because it seems as if the other person is trying to tell us something about the other person, or assuming the emotions and thoughts of the other person. I don't really like that. I'm not too fond of that. The story is okay. It's engaging because I'm trying to see what the development of the plot is going to be like. That's the only thing that's keeping me reeled into the story. So the plot twists are not here and there. She's only dropping subtle hints enough to keep you engaged. But I really feel like in order for this to like really, really take off, like, we need some plot twists, kind of like Frida McFadden. Like, she needs to blend her style with Frida McFadden a little bit. So I'll be back when I have some more updates. I'm looking like that because I really feel like I just wasted 12 hours finishing this book. Y'all, I have no words for how I've wasted my day reading something that I already solved in the first 5 chapters. So I did finish. I'm trying to find the words because I absolutely have no words. Y'all, the book wasn't good. I'm sorry. It was not good. So I will give this a rating. 1 star. I'm sorry. I figured out, I totally figured it out within the first 5-10 chapters. It was so predictable. I don't like suspense books that are predictable. And because I read her first book, I kind of picked up on her writing style and structure. It's totally predictable. It's so much storytelling. It's no thrilling elements. And the plot twist came, y'all, at the very end. At the very end. And everything that happened in the end, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. And I kept saying to myself, why is the author dragging out the plot? The story was so repetitive. We just kept going round and around and around and around in a circle. There was nothing developing until like 90% of the book. Seriously, I'm like, when are y'all going to get to like the plot twist? When are things going to start developing? The author was dropping like little hints here and there, but it was nothing thrilling. It was nothing like, ooh, okay. It was like, okay, and what's the point? You know how you have those suspense books that keeps lingering and then you're just asking more and more questions, but the questions you're asking are legitimate questions because the story is becoming so diluted with storytelling. Y'all, this book was so dumb. I'm sorry. It was. It really was. This book was so disappointing. I'm thinking it's going to be something that I already don't know, and it wasn't. So yes, I am disappointed. Would I recommend this book? I would recommend this book if you like slow burns, like I said about her last one. If you like slow burns, storytelling, suspense, mysteries, something that's very predictable. But if you don't like those types of stories, trust me, this book will not be for you because you're going to be sitting here thinking, what did I just read? Like, what did I just read? I could have just been reading another book. I could have been reading James Baldwin today or something like that. Y'all, I'm very disappointed. It is 11 o'clock. It is 11:21 and I really just finished. But anyway, I'm going to end the vlog here because I'm pretty sure this video has gotten extremely long because I really like my reading vlogs to be detailed. And some people don't like longer form content and some people do. But when I do reading vlogs, I really like to engage y'all with like the story. I don't like to give y'all superficial thoughts behind like the books that I'm reading, because that's the point of a reading vlog, is to discuss like what's happening in the book without spoilers. But anyway, I am going to be starting the Davenports. More than this, I'm going to be starting this tomorrow. I was trying to start this today, but I had to do some grocery shopping, run some errands today. But I will be recording a reading vlog for this, so stay tuned for that because I'm trying to do better at recording my videos and uploading them in order. So sometimes my videos will be completely out of order and I hate that because once I post a video, I might have posted the later video before the actual, y'all, it's just crazy. So I just said this weekend I'm going to create my social media planner so that I can stay on track with my upload schedule and upload in order of and upload in chronological order. If the chronological order according to dates. But anyway, so stay tuned for this book. If you stayed to the end of the video, let me know if you've read these books. What did you like about them? What did you not like about them? If you haven't read any of these, are you tempted to read any of these books? Let's have that conversation in the comments. So you already know what to do. If you stayed to the end, put a book emoji in the comments. If you're new to my channel, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and make sure y'all hype your girl up. Click that notification bell so you'll be notified of any future videos that I post. Yeah, y'all, I look crazy. I look like I've been laying in the bed. So until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Bye. 70%, and I'm 70%, and I'm 70%. And she's like, okay, cool, whatever. But she still feels